The planet of Tarnis IV was not a world where life should exist. It was a graveyard of fire, black stone mountains, rivers of molten glass, and lightning that never stopped. The orbiting ships that watched from afar did so in silence, their crews whispering prayers to whatever gods they believed in. Because deep beneath that molten sky, something immortal was stirring. The legends called it Vaerath, the World Eater, the last of the cosmic dragons. It had consumed fleets, cracked moons, and melted cities with its breath. For millennia, it was the monster parents used to scare their children into obedience. "Finish your meal," they would say, "or Vaerath will smell your hunger." But today, the galaxy's most feared creature lay dead, or so it seemed, half buried beneath the crust of the scorched planet. Its massive wings collapsed like mountains. Its scales were the color of a dying sun, and its breath no longer burned. Around it were the bones of ships and the charred husks of those who had tried to end it. And standing before that fallen god was a human child. When the Dauntless descended into Tarnis IV's atmosphere, their scanners nearly melted trying to process the energy signatures. Captain Vaerath, a veteran explorer, ordered her crew to maintain distance. No one wanted to risk landing near the corpse of the galaxy's greatest terror. But the distress signal had been clear. "Help me, please. He won't wake up." It wasn't machine noise. It wasn't static. It was a little girl's voice. The crew deployed a surface team, expecting a survivor from a wrecked ship, maybe a refugee camp. What they found instead made them forget how to breathe. A small human girl, no older than 10, standing in front of the dragon's enormous, motionless head. Her suit was torn and blackened from heat, her tiny boots sunk deep into ash. She was whispering something, stroking the creature's snout as if comforting a sleeping pet. When she saw the soldiers, she didn't run. She turned to them and said in the calmest voice imaginable, "You're too loud. You'll scare him." The scientists didn't know what to make of her. She called herself Lunari, said she came from Mars Colony Theta, a colony destroyed 5 years ago by Vaerath raiders. She had been listed as dead along with her entire family. "How did you survive?" Captain Mara asked softly as they examined her in the medbay. "I didn't," Luna replied, looking out the window at the glowing world below. "He found me. He kept me warm." "You mean Vaerath?" Luna nodded. "He's not bad. He just hurts. When he sleeps he dreams about fire. He says fire is lonely when no one listens." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. The Xylon linguist muttered, "Children of your species say strange things, Captain." But the human officers didn't laugh. Because the ship's sensors were showing something terrifying. Vaerath's core temperature was rising. Over the next 2 days, Luna wandered the Dauntless freely. She would hum to herself in the halls, press her ear against the bulkheads and smile. "He can hear me through the ship," she'd say. And then, every time she spoke, their instruments would spike. The dragon's vital readings on the planet below would pulse in rhythm with her voice. "Captain," the science officer said grimly, "whatever she's doing, it's waking him up." The crew wanted to sedate her, to keep her away from the planet, but Mara refused. "She's a child. And if Vaerath really is alive, she may be the only thing keeping him from killing us all." That night, as lightning cracked across Tarnis IV, the planet itself trembled. Something ancient was stirring beneath its crust. And somewhere in the dark, 2 enormous eyes opened, golden as twin suns, burning with memory and sorrow. Part 2. The Kiss That Stopped the Galaxy. The next morning, the Dauntless found itself surrounded by warships. The Vaerath Dominion had arrived, their flagship blotting out the stars. The Xylon oracles followed, declaring the event a cosmic omen. Even the peaceful Etherii sent a delegation, begging the humans to leave the planet before the end of all things began. Every screen aboard the Dauntless was filled with messages from alien commanders. Destroy the dragon before it wakes. Captain Vaerath argued against them. If you attack, you'll only make it worse. We don't understand this creature. It's ancient, maybe sentient. The Tiarkath admiral hissed. It is death. Nothing more. But before anyone could decide, alarms blared. Vaerath moved. The ground split open as the dragon rose from its tomb, molten rivers cascading from its scales. Its wings unfurled like solar flares, each movement shattering mountains. For the first time in 10,000 years, the destroyer breathed, and the sky burned. Fleet weapons locked on target. Hundreds of ships prepared to fire. But Luna was gone. When the bridge crew realized it, a transmission came through. Grainy, filled with static. It was Luna, her small voice echoing across every channel. Please don't hurt him. He doesn't want to fight. He's scared. The image stabilized enough for them to see her standing on the surface, directly before Vaerath's massive head. The wind screamed, the air glowed like molten glass, but the child didn't move. Luna! Mara shouted through the comm, get back here. That's an order. The girl turned her helmet camera toward the dragon's eye. He saved me when no one else could. He said humans aren't afraid of the dark. So I'll help him see the light again. And before anyone could stop her, she took off her helmet, climbed the dragon's snout, and pressed her lips gently to its burning scales. Every ship in orbit froze. The Tiarkath warlords, the Zaylon prophets, the human marines watching from the bridge. They all went silent. The sensors went wild, reading impossible energy levels, enough to vaporize everything within 1,000 kilometers. But the blast never came. Instead, the light dimmed. The heat vanished. And the dragon, Vaerath the World Eater, lowered its head. For the first time in recorded history, it bowed. It let out a sound that wasn't a roar but something older, deeper. A song that vibrated through every molecule, a lament of pain and forgiveness. The flames on its wings flickered out, replaced by a warm golden glow that spread across the sky like dawn. The alien fleets didn't move. They couldn't. Because in that single act, a human child kissing the deadliest being in the galaxy, everything they believed about fear and power collapsed. The destroyer of worlds had surrendered. To love. 4 hours, Vaerath hovered in orbit, his enormous wings shielding the Dauntless from radiation storms. Through the ship's systems, his voice resonated in pure energy tones. I remember now. The Elindrians who made me are gone. But this child reminds me of them. I was meant to guard, not destroy. Captain Mara stood speechless as the dragon's golden eyes softened. What will you do now? She asked. Sleep among the stars. Watch over the children of the fire who are not afraid. And with that, Vaerath lifted off. His wings unfurled like nebulae. His scales shimmered brighter than suns, and he disappeared into the void, leaving behind trails of auroras that danced for weeks across the Orion expanse. Luna was found unconscious but alive. Her hair glowed faintly gold for days afterward, as though touched by starlight. She never spoke about what the dragon said to her in those final moments, only that he promised to dream of gentle things. Years later, when she grew up, Luna became known across the galaxy as the dragon's child, the one who silenced the World Eater with a kiss. She became an ambassador of peace between species that had once only feared each other. The Tiarkath, the Xylans, and the Etherii all agreed on one thing. Humans were not to be underestimated. For while every other race sought to conquer or destroy, a single human child had done something no army could. she had healed the galaxy's oldest wound. On quiet nights, travelers passing through the Orion expanse sometimes see golden ripples in the void, like the shimmer of wings brushing starlight. They say it's Vaerath, the dragon who sleeps among the stars, still watching over the little girl who taught him that even the fiercest fire can be gentle when touched by kindness. And when alien children ask about humans, their parents whisper, "They're the species who kissed the monster and made it dream again."